What's up guys, it's Cobalt here and welcome back to another video. Today I am once again going to be showing you a bunch of the LPS Custom Commissions that I have finished. All these guys are from way back in 2023 still, so obviously I'm clearly behind, but I make way too many commissions. Speaking of which, as of watching this video, my commissions are currently open. They will be closed for a brief time in May, but generally speaking my commissions are pretty much open all the time, and there is a link to my Etsy shop where I sell them in the description of every single one of my videos, so if that is something that interests you, please go and check it out. This video is going to be a bit on the longer side because, like I said, I'm very behind on posting videos like this, so I figured instead of splitting this into 2 or 3 parts, I would just throw a bunch of customs in this video. So there's like at least 10 customs you're going to be seeing, and I hope you guys enjoy. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. Next up, we have another set of commissions. These are both for somebody over on Etsy, and I believe these are customs of their friends' OCs, so I will start off with the one that I finished first, which is this guy, and arguably my favorite one of the bunch. I am so happy with how this custom turned out. I think it looks so cool. So you're probably first off wondering what head swap I used for this custom. It was one of the fairy dragon heads and I believe a bull terrier body. I'm honestly not sure what kind of dog that is, but that is the head swap, and I have actually used the head swap for a completely different looking commission a couple weeks ago, and it is that custom right there. So you can see what very different outcomes you can get from the exact same base, but I absolutely love this guy. His design is very simple, but he has a lot of complex sculpting going on, and that made him incredibly fun to make. So here is the reference photo that they sent me of the character. They said the colors on the reference were a bit off, so I adjusted them on the custom and hopefully they turned out alright. But anyways, as for sculpted parts, I sculpted the 2 big ears, I sculpted the fluff on the cheeks, I sculpted this fancy little like mohawk of hair that he has, I sculpted the 2 angel wings, and I sculpted the tail along with the claws on the back feet and the little fluff of fur on the chest. I believe this character is an angel dragon, but it was very fun to make. I'm really happy with how the wings came out. I don't normally sculpt wings, but I think that these ones turned out pretty good. I actually had to readjust them once I stuck the head on because I sculpted all the stuff on the body before the head arrived, and that was a whole mess. But in the end, the wings look good and they look like they were originally supposed to be there. And I love how they're sort of offset a little bit, so it gives it sort of a playful pose. I think that's very cute. And I love this one's eyes as well. Overall, I just think that this custom looks super nice, and I'm really happy with it. Now let's take a look at the second custom. I also like this one, but I don't think it's as interesting. I mean, design-wise, it has more going on than the other custom, but sculpting-wise, it's a little bit less. This is another head swap custom. It is a head swap between a wolf cat head and one of the Generation 1 standing short hair cats, and it has like these really cool melty eyes. Off to the side of the screen, I will put the reference sheet for this character that was sent to me. And for sculpting, I sculpted the hair on this one. It goes down into the back in sort of this little ponytail, and then has 2 braids on the side as well. And then I also sculpted this character's clothes, and I think it turned out pretty cool, but I don't really have as much to say about this one because I just like this other guy better. This next commission is another realistic style one of somebody's pet. It is this cute little dog. I had a lot of fun painting this one. This one didn't take me too long. I also really love the way that this one's eyes turn out. I just think that they look super cool. I've used this base figure about twice now, and I really like this one. I think it has really cool ears, and I love the fur textures that are already in the base, so it works really well for this style of custom. This one has no sculpted parts other than the collar, so I sculpted that, and I wrote the dog's name on it. Its name is Champy, which is very cute. But yeah, I believe this one was also a gift for somebody else from the commissioner, so I really hope that both people like it. Next up, we have another pair of commissions. As you can see, these are 2 characters from the anime Fairy Tail. We have Natsu and Happy. I will start off with Happy because he is the one that I finished first. He is made from a fake short hair cat base, and I sculpted his little green backpack thing, and then I also sculpted the wings, but the wings are made using a mold. There's not too much to say about this custom. I have actually made 2 versions of Happy a really long time ago. This is the only one that I have a photo of, but they're extremely old, so I had a lot of fun getting to remake this guy, and I think it turned out really cute, and I love his angry little expression. Moving on to Natsu, he is a custom of a character that I have never made before, but I think that he turned out really cool. This is definitely one of those customs that I wasn't very sure of when I was making it, but now that he's done, I absolutely love the way that he looks. He is made from a fake ear-up collie, and he has a lot more sculpting. I sculpted his hair, which I'm pretty happy with. I gave it sort of a thicker shape to have more of an anime style. And of course, I also sculpted his clothes and his scarf. And one of my favorite details about this custom is the little fairy tale symbol that I painted on his arm. I think that it looks awesome, and I'm super proud of the way that that came out. And once again, here is both of them together. This next commission is another one of somebody's Paw Patrol OCs. I think this one turned out super cute. It is made from a authentic Generation 2 Golden Retriever. As you can see, he's pretty simple, but he has a lot of little dots and cute little designs on him. I really love the heart shapes, especially on the ears, and he has a big one on the back of his head, which I think is a really neat design idea. The other thing sculpted on him is the little collar, and then I think this custom is also really cool because he has some red in his blue eyes, which is very unique. And there's a little fire symbol painted on his collar, and here's his paws. This was for this person. They've commissioned me a couple other times. I believe this one is for their friend's OC, and here is the reference photo that they sent me for the character. I think it's really, really cool, and it was a lot of fun to make. This next commission, I absolutely love the way that it turned out. This is another custom for somebody over on Etsy, and this one was a lot of fun because it was actually one that I got to design. Technically, this is sort of like a mood board custom, but the person didn't actually send me any mood boards. They just kind of described an aesthetic to me, which was like a cutesy goth aesthetic, and they said that they wanted me to somehow incorporate vampire fangs, skeletons, spider webs, and pink and gray color palettes. So that is exactly what I did, and I came up with this gal, and I think she looks so cool, and I absolutely love her eyes. This is made from a fake short hair cat base. As you can see, I sculpted the two little devil horns, I sculpted this band-aid on her nose, I sculpted the spike collar, and I sculpted this little devil tail as well. My favorite thing about this custom is definitely the way that I painted the skeleton. I tried to make it a lot more realistic looking this time as opposed to other ones that I've done in the past, and I also love the spider webs on the ears. They're not the cleanest in the world, but I still think that they look pretty good, and I'm also proud of myself for coming up with that idea. I feel like when I design things on my own, they don't usually turn out that great, but I really like the way that this custom looks, and I definitely want to make more things inspired by this one in the future. This commission was for somebody over on Etsy, and it is a Christmas gift. I believe this was somebody ordering a custom for their granddaughter, which is really cool. It's honestly really awesome to see so many people wanting customs for me for Christmas. That like really just means a lot that so many people really like my work. But anyways, this is a custom of somebody's pet dog, and normally for this I would do it in my realistic style category, but me and the commissioner decided that this custom would be best in an LPS style, so that is what I came up with. It was a lot of fun to translate somebody's pet into what it would look like as an LPS, and of course I still included some cute little paws on the bottom. Overall pretty simple, but I'm really happy with the eyes. I think they turned out so perfect, especially this one. And this is another Etsy commission. I believe this one is of somebody's warrior cat's OC. It is made from a short hair cat base, and I sculpted the cheek fluff, the fluff on the neck, and a little bit of fluff on the tail. If you want to see what their character looks like, here is a side-by-side with the reference sheet. I had a lot of fun making this character. I love the colors, I love the design. I think she's super, super cute, and I especially love like the face marking, how the tan color looks. And overall, I had a lot of fun with this one. It reminds me of Firestar from Warrior Cats, which I thought was pretty cool, and I'm also super happy with the way that I painted this one's eyes. I decided to come up with an eye style that was sort of similar to how it looked in the references, but also throw in a little bit of my own style and make it suit the LPS better. And of course, I also gave this custom some cute little paws on the bottom. This next commission may look a little bit familiar. This is a remake of my Glamrock Freddy custom that I made about a year ago. Here is a side-by-side to the original custom that I made. This guy is almost exactly identical, but I decided to improve a couple things about him just with the paint job and everything like that. And of course, some of the paint colors are different because I use a different brand of paint now than I used to. But anyways, this custom is made from a Basset Hound LPS, and the ears are from a Generation 3 Panda. I sculpted his little teeth, I sculpted his top hat, I sculpted the piercing here on this ear, I sculpted his bow tie using a mold, and then he also has his shoulder pads and the little bracelets on his legs. Other than that, everything is painted, and of course I got to use my copper paint, which I really love, and that's something that I also really like about this custom. I just think that using the metallic paint makes him look so much more interesting than if I used like a normal color. And you know, it also just works with the fact that he's supposed to be a robot. And also, I forgot to mention, I sculpted his little tail as well. I think this one has a smaller tail than my original one, but it's still really cute. And another detail that I love about this custom in the original one I made is the eye shines. I gave him little star eye shines because, as I mentioned with the previous custom, it is because he says "way to go superstar," and I thought that that would just be cute to give him stars in his eyes. If you want to see how I made the original version of Glamrock Freddy, I actually have a customizing time-lapse of him up on my channel, so if you want, you can go and check that out. Next up is another custom of someone's Paw Patrol OC, and this is also a gift for somebody, but as you can see, it is made from a head swap between two different types of Dalmatian LPS, and I sculpted the little hat, I sculpted his tufts of fur on his head and on his cheeks, I sculpted his collar and this little backpack on him. Here is a reference sheet of what the character looks like. I think this one's really cool because I love all of his different little spots and how many details he has, as well as his scars. And on the bottom, of course, I gave him some little paws because I love adding that on customs, and I just think that it's a very cute detail. Next up, I have two customs that go together. They were part of the same order for somebody on Etsy, and they are also a gift for somebody whose cats sadly passed away, but I was given the chance to remake them into customs, and let me just tell you, both of these cats are so cute, and I had so much fun making them. They were both made from fake crouching cat bases, and I will just start off with this one and give a little turnaround of it. They're both pretty similar. They're both tortoiseshell or calico cats, and they're both so cute, and I love how big and glossy both both of the eyes are on this one. Here's the paws. I gave them little freckled paws on the bottom. This one also has a cute little freckled nose, which I love. Again, the big glossy eyes. The most difficult part of these customs for me was not getting the cats mixed up. They do look pretty similar, but you can tell them apart, and I just wanted to make sure that I got all of the details that went to each cat on each custom, and of course I tried to fit as many details as I possibly could, and here are the paws on this one. Overall, I had so much fun making these customs, and I really hope that the commissioner and the person that they're gifting these to love them. This commission was for somebody that I have worked with in the past, and this time they gave me a mood board to make this custom based off of. So let me just show you the custom really quickly. That is what it looks like. I designed it, and here is the mood board. The only things that I sculpted on this custom were this little orb on its head and its tail. On the mood board there is a snake, and I really wanted to incorporate that into the custom somehow, so I sort of gave it a snake-like tail and gave it the snake pattern on its back, and I think that's one of my favorite details about this custom. And then on the ears I gave it this pattern which sort of looks like fire or autumn leaves. I did a similar thing in the eyes, and then the eye shines and this orb on its head represent the moon that was in the mood board. And then I just wanted to give it a lot of spiky details in its face and stuff like that to make it look similar to the buildings and the mountains. And I did the same thing on its paws. It's a bit hard to see because the base color is so dark along with the black details, but I really love how this one turned out, and I always have fun designing customs for people. Next up is another commission order of 2 customs. I will start off with this guy because it is the one that I finished first. This is an LPS styled version of somebody's dog. It's mostly just like a German Shepherd, but it was supposed to be sort of based off of the photos that they sent me of their dog. And this is made from a head swap between a Siberian Husky head and a Great Dane body, and I sculpted some extra fluff here on the cheeks, this little tuft of hair here, some fluff inside the ears, these cute little eyebrows, the collar, and the tail. And I really love the way that this custom turned out. I thought that I did a really good job of translating a German Shepherd into an LPS and also giving it interesting markings at the same time. I love this sort of like swirly wave pattern that I did on the legs. I just thought that that was a cool idea. And I also, of course, gave him some paws like all the other customs in this video. And then for the second custom, basically all they said was they wanted a Christmas or winter themed custom. So I came up with this one. I used a Generation 5 reindeer base, which is a base figure that I've had for quite a while and I've been meaning to use but had no idea what to use it for. So I decided to use it for this custom, and I am so happy with the design that I came up. I've said this before, but I just love when I get to completely design LPS for people, and this is probably one of my favorite commissions that I've ever designed myself. So as for sculpting, I sculpted the little candy cane and all these little peppermints that it has. There's some on the antlers here, one on the back, and then some on the body. And then I also sculpted the tufts of fur inside the ears and the fluff on the cheeks. And then on the body, again, sculpted the peppermints, and then I sculpted this big tail. I love sculpting tails like this. I think this one turned out so cool, and I just love the colors. I love the way the blue and the reds look with each other, and I really just wanted to play into the idea of snow and peppermints because those are something that I personally really associate with Christmas and winter, and I thought that it would make for a really cute design. And I am so jealous that I don't get to keep this custom, but I really hope that the commissioner likes it. And this is somebody that I have worked with in the past about a year ago, so I was really excited when they approached me again for some more commissions. This commission is yet another one for somebody that has commissioned me in the past and another gift for somebody else. This one's pretty simple. It is just of somebody's OC. It's made from a Great Dane base, and the only thing that I sculpted was his hair, but I'm pretty happy with how the hair turned out. I think that it looks very clean and smooth. Other than that, he's just purple, and the commissioner told me that the person that this custom is for really loves toys that have like cute little expressions or like winking kind of things like that, so I decided to do that with this guy. So he has one eye that's open and the other one is winking, and I think that he looks really cute. I was originally unsure of how that would look, but once I painted it, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. And I also really love this guy's eyebrows. I just thought that that would be an extra neat little touch. This is another mood board custom commission for somebody over on Etsy. For this commission, they actually asked for me to make it a surprise, so the commissioner has not seen it yet, but the custom is now finished and I'm very happy with it. Here is the mood board off to the side. This person also purchased an option that has no sculpting, so it took me a bit to kind of figure out a design that I could base this mood board off of that didn't have any extra sculpted parts. So the main thing that I decided to go with was a wolf. They asked me to use a Great Dane base as well, so that worked perfectly for it, and I gave it all of these wolf-like markings and things like that. And then of course the colors were inspired by the mood board. I also saw that it had like some candles or something with fire, so I added this flame pattern on the body. Flame patterns are actually something that I've been incorporating into my customs recently, and I think it looks really cool. It's very subtle because it blends into the rest of the design, but it also has like this orangey color to the brown that the markings are painted in, so I think that that looks really cool. The only other thing that the person said that they wanted me to include were the eyes. They sent me a little picture where both the eyes were orange and then one of them had a black part and the other one had a white part. part, so I made sure to include that in the custom, and I think the eyes look so adorable. I don't know what it is, but just the way that I painted them, I absolutely love. And then for a final finishing touch to this custom, I decided to add these little gears. There's one on the chest and one on both of the ears, just because there was some steampunk aesthetic to the mood board as well. But yeah, and then of course, he has some little paws. I gave him some black ones on the front and some brown ones on the bottom, and I think that this guy is really, really cool. And like I said, I think my favorite parts are probably the eyes and the pattern on the back. Here is the next commission. This custom was another Christmas gift for somebody, and it was also ordered on Etsy. So for this guy, it is made from a head swap between a Siberian Husky head and a fox body. I originally had this head swap laying around to use for a custom that I was going to sell, but I ultimately never really finished the custom or got past the base coat, so I decided to use it for this commission because I thought it would fit really well. Let me just quickly take off his glasses because those are removable, and that way you can better see the custom. I sculpted his hair here, I sculpted some extra fluff on the cheeks, I sculpted a little bit of fluff on the chest, and some extra fluff on the tail as well. This is of somebody's original character, and here is the reference sheet that was provided for me. I think this character is very, very cute, and it was a ton of fun to make, and I think that this head swap is absolutely S tier. I love the way that it looks, and I think that it really suited this character. And then again, I decided to make its glasses removable, so they are made of wire like this, and you can basically just sort of drop them on over the head and in front of the hair, and it just sits like that. And on the bottom, he also has some little blue paws. Here is the next commission. It is yet another gift for somebody. This was ordered by this person for their partner of their persona, and I absolutely love the way that this commission turned out. I think it is so cool. It is a head swap between a fake wolf cat and a fake short hair cat body. Here is what the custom looks like, and here is a side-by-side of the main reference that they sent me for this character. As for sculpted parts, I sculpted the hair, I sculpted the two piercings on the side, and I sculpted the hoodie and pants. And then this custom also has a nose ring. I could not figure out how to sculpt it, so I ended up painting it, and I think that it actually turned out pretty good. So that's definitely something that I want to try to add on some future customs. And for this one's eyes, they are inspired by a previous commission that I have done with the little star or flower and the heart shape in them, and I think that it works really well with this custom as well. And that has some cool ripped jeans, and I'm pretty proud of the way that I painted that. I think they look really neat. And technically this custom, or this character, is supposed to be a black and white cat, but we decided to put some purple hue into the color. So the black base is actually a little bit purple tinted, and then this color that looks light purple is like white that's slightly purple tinted as well. And overall, this is definitely one of my favorite commissions that I've done recently, and I am really excited for this person to gift the custom to their partner, and I really hope that both of them like it. This next commission was another one for somebody over on Etsy. It is a head swap custom, and this one is made from a Generation 4 or 5 platypus head and a bear body. Normally when I do commissions, I don't actually get asked to use new gen LPS, so this one was pretty fun to make. As you can see, it is a custom of Toy Chica from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I think this one turned out super cute, and the only things that I sculpted on her were her two little like cheek circles, her bib, and the cupcake in her hand, and I think that he looks so stupid, but like in a good and cute way. And this custom was also inspired by a custom made by Piazzle Customs, but obviously I wanted to do something different with mine, so I did a different head swap, and then I changed up the eyes as well. And she has some tiny little hearts in both of her eyes. That's where those little pink dots are. They're supposed to be hearts. It's a little hard to tell. And then I also changed up just how the other things look so that it was inspired, but obviously not a copy of her work, because Pia is a very amazing and talented artist, and I would not want to plagiarize anything that she does. But yeah, I really love the way this custom turned out, and I am very excited for the commissioner to receive it. I love this next commission so much. As you can see, she is a head swap custom of a Siberian Husky head and a Great Dane body, which is one of the S tier head swaps. Anyways, this is a commission for this person on Instagram of their OC/persona. Here is the adorable reference sheet that they provided me of this character, and I again had so much fun making her. So as for sculpted parts, I sculpted her two little teeth that stick out, these two piercings on her chin. The nose ring is not sculpted, that is just painted on. I sculpted her hair, which I'm really proud of the way that that looks. I also sculpted her two little horns and all these piercings on both of her ears, along with her claws on all 4 feet, this fluffy chest, and finally the curly tail, which I think is really cute. Originally when I sculpted the tail, it was pointed straight up, but in the drying process, the tail sort of fell over to the side, but I honestly think that it makes it look so much cuter, so that was sort of a happy little accident. And I really like this character's design. She's got a lot of little hearts. She has some on the hip. There's also this little X on her butt, along with this heart shape as well, and all these little cute freckles on her face. Some of them are also shaped like hearts. And I saw on a picture of this person's fursuit of the character, there were some hearts in the eyes, so I decided to add these two little pink hearts in both of the eyes as well. And I also love the way that her eyelashes came out. I know I say this a lot, but I don't normally paint eyelashes on customs, so this one was a fun challenge, and I think that it turned out pretty well. And on the bottom, she also has some multicolored little paw pads. This commission was for somebody on Etsy of their cat, and I also had a lot of fun making this custom because this cat reminds me a lot of my own cat, Coco. Very similar colors and similar markings. So I had a lot of fun just like adding all these different paint streaks everywhere to make the fur texture and sort of allude to the calico or tortoiseshell pattern. And again, this one also has some cute little paws on the bottom with a couple little freckles. This cat mostly just had pink paw pads, but I noticed on a couple of them there were some black spots, so I made sure to add that as well. And I really like the way that this one's eyes turned out. They're greenish, but I added some brown in there as well, so it's sort of like a hazel color. And yeah, I think she turned out pretty cute. And those are all the customs for today's video. Obviously, I will hopefully be doing another one of these soon. I'll definitely do another one in the future because, again, so many customs. I made like 300 customs in 2024, so you don't even want to know how long it's going to take me to post all of these. But if you guys want to see more of my custom work, obviously I post all of my LPS customs to my Instagram as well, and I'm a little bit speedier over there, but still not by much. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Obviously, as always, comment down below which custom featured in this video was your favorite, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!